We'll call the council meeting to order. If everybody would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Deputy Clerk, do we have a quorum present?
Yes, we do.
All right, wonderful. We have no presentations this evening, so the first item on the agenda is a review and approval of the minutes from September 11th.
Got one change. Page 3, under public comments. I'm sorry, public comments, the third paragraph. I asked that you write a letter to the governor explaining that your signing of the letter on gun control was not taken or not done with any input from the council, and you said you would not do that, and I went ahead and did it. So I did write a letter to the governor, and I have received responses from the governor and from the state representative.
I don't know that that would be appropriate to go into the minutes if you did it after the meeting.
No, I just, you said in here that you didn't specify who I was going to send the letter to. I just sent it to the governor.
If I didn't specify, then it won't be specified in here.
But I specified.
Then we need to add that in here. If I didn't say it, it wouldn't be in here under my words. It would be in here under yours. If you want to add something to your words, you need to say, I need to add something to my statement.
That's exactly what I said.
No, it's not.
The fourth paragraph down, the last thing, I would write a letter expressing his disagreement in the letter that you signed. I said specifically that I was going to send that letter to the governor.
Okay. Would you like to add the governor in there?
Yes.
All right. If there are not any other corrections, if I can get a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept with the changes.
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. All right. The next item on the agenda is our budget review. As you can see, our fund balance in all the categories is pretty strong. There's nothing particularly on the first page that I see that jumps out on anything. If we flip over to the second page, we're at 76% of our receipts, and then we have spent 63% of our budget in expenses. The items in the expenses that are marked in the red are just notes of ones getting close. Any of the big expenses are the ones that Floyd covered last week. Do I have any questions on the budget?
Is it the GF, what's costing us again on the legal fees? Why we went over that?
It's
Is it the GFL?
Several
situation?
things, GFL,
Yeah.
creation of the DDA.
Right.
We've had a couple of ordinances go through. So just legal services, where we're
Okay.
overspending on
I
legal.
was just curious.
Sure.
There's been a lot going on.
Yeah. You've been busy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is good.
For some of us.
We have failed to meet the budget in most prior years.
Yes, and that is true. Mr. Sears has kept us in a good spot over the years, so it's money well spent.
Agreed. I see Floyd put the aggregate fiscal year on the statement sheet in red. Was there some?
No, this will be the money that we have to transfer in at the end of the year when we do the budget amendment, because we have to have a balanced budget year to year. We need to go back and change the original budget and have it reflect what we actually spent. So this money, and it's within our contingency line item, this money will just be moved over. We are overspending our projections, but it's not technically overspent yet. All right, if there's no other questions on that, I'm going to pause on item 2 and then go on to the intergovernmental agreement for our property tax collections. This is the agreement between Coweta County and this is with the town for our property tax collections. It is going from 125 a parcel up to 150 a parcel. I'm trying to confirm that. Because Commissioner McMichael does our tax collections and sends us the check and does all that, we just pay him a flat rate per parcel. So it's $1.50, something like that.
Yeah, that's in section 4. Section.
Yeah. Yeah, so $1.50 a parcel, it's $300-400. So it's an exceptional deal, and he's done a really good job with Floyd and working on the digest, and it's been a really good relationship. And I just need a motion to authorize me to sign the agreement for the town.
Motion. Second.
All right, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you. All right, the next item on our agenda is a first reading for an update to the animal ordinance. Earlier this year, Coweta County completely revised and updated their animal control ordinance, which we then updated and adopted because they provide our animal control services, and you don't want two sets of rules for one officer. However, apparently, they had to go back and change and/or approve a section. It is item B4. On page 22, it's highlighted down there. It just talks about the specific liability insurance that is going to be required for vicious dog owners.
Who determines that a dog is vicious?
Probably the judge. There's a
Okay, so it's
judge.
after the fact.
I'm going to have to refer to Brad on that one. I don't know. It's probably the vicious dog ordinance. Who determines that it's a vicious dog?
The Animal Control Board.
Okay.
All right, so what you've got is, we adopted this, I guess, the last meeting that it was, that second reading. In between time, the county, and there were some issues that were going on in discussion before about the insurance limits, and the county chose at their September 19th meeting to adjust it. If you look under the first one that we adopted, it was $1 million for both the dangerous dog and the vicious dog.
Okay.
The county went back and changed it to $500,000 for the dangerous dog
and $1 million, and left it at $1 million for the vicious dog. All right, since we utilize the county's animal control department, then our ordinance has to mirror theirs. So we're just changing it to bring it back into compliance with what they did on that amendment in September.
For my information, I've got, just curious. You determine a dog is vicious or dangerous based on the breed or on the individual dog?
Based on,
On the breed or on the dog?
it's based upon the activity of the dog.
So it's dog specific?
Right,
Okay.
if you read, any dog can be a dangerous dog, any dog can be a vicious dog. So it's not based on the breed.
Okay.
All right, we do know that some potentially have propensities to be a little more aggressive than others. But the actual definition of the dangerous dog and the vicious dog are in the ordinance. So, but
Okay.
it's based upon the activities. And that is, the county has established a board, so when the animal control officers make a determination that it should be designated as a dangerous dog or then designated as a vicious dog, it goes before a panel of 5 people. And those 5 people that the county has appointed have animal, the veterinarians on that, there are other people that are on that are animal-oriented people who make that determination. And to my knowledge, Sharpsburg never had a dog. Had one?
Back in 2018.
When was that?
2018.
No, but that dog was never determined to be vicious.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
No,
It was before.
it went before the magistrate's court on violation, but I don't think that it ever went into the panel.
Oh, no, it didn't, no, sir.
Yeah,
It was just
so,
a
but that's what's like.
one-off, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions on the animal control ordinance? All right, this is just the first reading, so.
It's first reading.
First reading, okay. Next item on the agenda is our town council calendar. You can see that Floyd provided 2 options. He gave one that has both council meetings on Mondays and then workshop meetings approximately on the 3rd Monday. But he did present a schedule that has just the council meetings. I know that it is sometimes hard to get to a midweek, or I'm sorry, to an additional meeting. I just really feel the way that the open meeting laws and everything are set up, it really helps us to have a workshop for us to come and talk about things in depth with all 5 of us here, rather than having to break the conversation up into 2s. It's just the best practice, honestly, to have workshops. To have work sessions. This will be adopted, I would assume, in January or in December as we get closer to it. We just wanted to put out the schedule to reflect those dates so that we can, number one, begin setting them for ourselves and then get it out as other people need it. But other than just FYI or answering any questions, there's no direct action to be taken tonight.
Yeah, we can leave them in there, and if we decide at some point that we don't need them, we can just scrap it. Right?
Yes, you could, but again, having that open session just gives us more time to talk about it and answer each other's questions, rather than making these meetings go long.
Yep.
All right. Are there any other questions on the new business before we go into old business? Sir?
What line item 2 are we just, we waiting?
They're having a conversation
Oh, okay, they're
in
in
there,
there.
so
Gotcha.
it may
Curious why we're
come off
skipping
the
that.
agenda. Yeah.
no problem.
Okay, so we have the playground and the fencing back on the agenda this month because I wanted to come back to you guys and talk to y'all again about adding the additional playground over there that we talked about last month and we've talked about a couple of times before. I just really want to come back and say I really think this is something that would benefit us if we did it. It's a local vendor. It is going to be an expansion of the playground for well under retail cost. To remind you, it's $10,000, including install, for the playground that's right here. The other costs of it are between $12,000 and $14,000, maybe or maybe not including install. The vendor has this in stock. After the last meeting, I talked with staff and I've talked with some of our residents that have small children. Staff tells me, we've got Angie and Julie here if they would like to chime in. People ask us about the playground and if it is open, if it has been reopened. When it first was closed, they asked how long it was going to be closed. If we're going to go up on our rates like we have talked about, it would be good to have something nice and new out there to be able to help justify it. Now, yes, we have done some cosmetic improvements and we've added the back parking lot, but when we start to go up on our rates, I would like to have another playground set out there to show the families and the residents that we're bringing in things for them to do. Again, I will.
You want to recognize Angie? She's got it.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The only, one thing is that regardless of the decision on whether there's going to be another playground down, I recommend that we keep this playground fixed, that we fix this one and leave it because a lot of people who rent the facility have children and they use the gazebo or they use the outside area, so we probably would need to have this one, a little bit doctored up so that we can have at least one little playground that is attached to the community center so people can see the children while they're here having their activities.
Yeah. And this would give us some swings. We don't even have any swings out there. The other good thing about having this particular vendor do it is they can refresh and update the existing that's out there and kind of bring it back because you're right, it is faded. It's been out there for probably 15 years, but it's held up well and it's just a good positive add for our community.
We need a vote on it?
If council would like, you can certainly put forth a motion, and if we get a second, we can take it to a vote.
I'll make the motion.
All right, we have a motion.
Where's the money coming from for the
SPLOST.
playground?
We can either use SPLOST or we can use cash, either one, because we've got recreational and cultural for this one.
To be honest, I'm really torn on the issue. I got opinions on both sides that,
Right.
you know.
And just to be clear, I do not want to pause or
I know.
stop
Yep.
or any of the other planning at all.
Well, it's expensive, it's an expensive stopgap. Even if it's cheaper than would it be full retail. It's
Right.
expensive.
Right.
And you have no other use for it. Once we decide on expanding the playground, you have no use for it.
Is there, as far as the use, and what if the town decides to surplus it? Is there any willingness on the vendor's part to buy that thing back at a certain price? You could sell it used if there was another bigger project developed later on. And maybe in that case it wouldn't be such a sink, but obviously he's not here to answer those
Right.
questions.
Yeah, I
but-
can certainly find out.
Because from the people I've talked to, there's a lot of interest in doing a bigger project.
Right.
Something.
Yes. No, I agree, absolutely.
Doing some landscaping, some clearing, some grading, and doing something more, I don't know, not advanced, but
Right.
just
Yeah.
larger, more permanent,
Oh, yeah.
type structure.
Right. But I'll tell you, a project like that, and you're right, $10,000 is a lot of money, but only when you compare it to the $150, $175 that a full-size commercial playground is going to cost.
Well, you're not going to do this instead of that. What you're gonna do is you're gonna do it and then set it aside.
No, what we're gonna do, at least what I am proposing, is that we do it and let that suffice out there while we're doing the planning and the installing and the landscaping and all that. And,
Stopgap. Stopgap,
yes,
okay?
but it's better than having a blank piece of ground out there for the next 2 or 3 years while we do a larger, bigger playground.
Well, you're assuming it's gonna take 2 or 3 years to do that, and it may not.
You're right, you're right.
It probably would not, because it's pretty high on the priority list for people.
Right.
The new people coming in, I think, Polly and Cameron both have voiced
Mhm.
interest in it, and I haven't talked to Cynthia. I know Elizabeth has interest in it as well. And they've talked to some people, not formally, but they've identified some people they can get in touch with who can help us plan one.
Mhm.
So it's not a far-fetched, pie in the sky, 2-year down the road project. It's coming.
I know that you say that, but given over the last handful of years, I just don't have much faith in it. I mean, we've come up here and put projects before, and then it just lingers, and then all of a sudden, 1.5 years has gone by, and we're like, oh, well, what happened? All I'm saying is if we do this now, we can still do all that. It doesn't stop anything, but it gives us a stopgap to provide services in the interim.
It's a good bit of money for a stopgap.
It's less than we spent to redo the community center.
Yeah, still, you can compare it to several different things, but the fact of the matter is, it's right at $10,000 that we probably are not gonna be able to recover if it doesn't fit into the larger plan.
I mean, you can find any reason that you want to not to do it. I mean, but there's also other ways to find ways to get things done. If you didn't want to keep it there where it is, or even if you didn't want to coordinate what we're going to get with what we've already got, you could certainly move it over there to, I don't know, anywhere. You could move it over there where the Beckham's house is. You could move it over by the library. There's a way to use it and make it usable beyond the 1.5 years that it's going to be available.
And again, the 1.5 years is what you think it's gonna take a council to come up with a new plan? For a new,
Given the construction lead times and the funding lengths of times, probably.
we'll find out what the resale value of it is, if the guy's willing to take it back.
What about comments from the people that are here now?
Sure.
Does anybody have anything to say about the playground project? Because
We have 4 grandchildren that have truly missed it. And they enjoyed what little bit was out there.
well, that one's looking rough.
Yeah.
It's got some rotted rails on it actually as well.
Yeah.
I have had people ask me if it's going to be available for them when they rent that little one, so.
Yeah.
I briefly this morning parked down there and looked over at a distance and at a glance, it looked, it's not been some minor repairs done, the caution tape taken down, everything
Yeah.
usable.
Yeah, I cleaned up the lot, moved all the stuff out of the way, and rehung the caution wire over the lamps and all that.
Is it officially reopened or something?
Well, I mean, I didn't say, yay, it's officially reopened, but yeah, it's usable.
Right, yeah,
Yes, sir.
it looked terrible to me.
It's
Yeah.
Don't know where I'm going with that, it did
Yeah.
pop out at me that, hey, this looks like it's back.
Yes, yeah, I did that.
Some of it's usable.
Sir?
Some of it's usable.
Right, and.
It's got some fully rotted.
It could use a little TLC.
Yeah. It needs some boards replaced for sure. Yeah.
I've got a question. Why is it gonna take so long to do the big job that's gonna be permanent? Why is that gonna be so?
Because, so the process to get the proposal, to design the space, you're having to source the materials, you got to coordinate the landscaping. I mean, it might not take 1.5 years. It could be done shorter. But it's going to take some resources and time that up until now, I mean, lately, I don't know that we've had available. So, Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think $10,000 is a very small fee for what we should be investing in when it comes to kids and their well-being, their safety, their health, and, you know, providing an area for them to be able to enjoy that space. I just think $10,000, regardless of how long it takes us to finish the other long-term project, I think that's probably a little tad bit when it comes to putting a price tag on the well-being of children.
Yeah, with that said, you know, the obvious solution, short term, would be to look at trying to fix up what we've got instead of spending $10,000 on something else that we potentially won't need. Because see, we've still got the other one out there. So if you buy the second one, you've got two. What are you going to do with them? They may
Put
not.
them together.
It may not fit in with the plan that you're going to come up with.
April?
Has anybody looked into maybe adding swings to the one that's currently out there and then, and fixing it up to be currently usable? So that way maybe we could have a happy medium and not be all the way at 10,000 but not be at zero either?
I mean, I'm sure that there are. These things typically come in packages. I don't know what we could buy swings for off the shelf. But
Aren't there bits and pieces of it in that purple thing out there?
those are the swings that came off of the swing beam when they took it out and it broke. And then the little spring riders are in there. And he can also reinstall the spring riders as well.
So we could get somebody to come in there and put up a framework for that, for the swings that we already have. 4x4s, 5x6x6s.
I mean, yes, well, I'm sure we could find someone that would come up and put up an A-frame, but considering it's going to be a kid's playground, that's a responsibility of the municipality. I'd rather have a dude that's been doing it for 30 years than just trying to add a couple of
That's fine.
swings
You know,
up
we
there.
go out and find somebody who's in that business, but we've already got the swings, is all I'm saying. We've already got the chains and the seats. I think.
I think we do too, but you got to keep in mind they're 10 or 15-year-old chains and swings, and I mean, it wouldn't hurt to get new.
Let him look at it.
Yes,
In the
ma'am.
process of getting the estimates, did we get estimates on the repair and a new one, or did we just get estimates on?
Just estimates on the new
There
one.
was some talk of him resealing,
Refinishing
or-
it, yes.
but it's gonna need more than that, and I don't know, I didn't know that at the time that he made his presentation, or I would have asked, because it certainly is gonna need some top rails, handrails on top, and it needs some deck boards too, so it won't just be,
Okay. Yeah. Just
I'm sure it won't be
replacing-
much extra cost, maybe he's willing to go the extra mile and do that for
Yeah.
us.
Well, we
but,
can, I mean, if there's boards.
it needs
that-
more than just a sanding and resealing, you know, just some boards need to be replaced too,
Okay.
which is simple too, but
Yeah.
it needs it.
Sure.
That seems to be the more logical approach than buying another one.
No, I mean, yes, it does if we're trying to save and pinch all of our pennies, but in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to offering amenities and activities, I mean, either we're here to help families and do stuff, or we're not. I mean,
Well, does refurbishing the thing, does it address the needs that you heard from people?
Julie?
I mean,
I came across something as the safety coordinator for the site. There is a certification for playgrounds from the state that ties into safety.
Okay.
So I just came across it when I was putting the package together, and I have no idea what it's about, but I can look into it and find out.
Absolutely, yeah. Look at it and pass it on to Tom or Floyd and let them incorporate that.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
I have a quick one.
Oh, yes, sir.
My kids are 14 and 16, so they don't play playgrounds anymore, but what other attractions are y'all planning for people to come to Sharpsburg downtown? Because it doesn't interest me as much for a playground because we had playgrounds in people's backyards. I don't know around here how many children really come here versus we actually went to Central, we went to Union Utilities, we went to the bigger, grander playgrounds for them to play on. I think the attraction part is, what else can I do to come here and hang out other than
Well, for the 15 and 16-year-olds, I know a great hobby store that runs events on weekends and has camps, and I guarantee you the older ones would love that.
You have really cars that you can run on track.
Or they can get jobs at Sharpsburg Pizza.
Yes, or they get jobs at Sharpsburg Pizza.
Job aid.
So you're right, sir, that they do go to those other places, but I would propose that that's because there's nothing here. You know, if you can come here and have just as much fun rather than going all the way up to Central or Kids Castle.
Well, in my case, my kids are going to Noonan because they love the pickleball.
Right.
And you got kids of all ages, 60, 70 years old, doing something, and it's a great atmosphere because you have all ages doing something that's new, fresh, and it's like blowing up. I just want to, what else can we attract other than a couple non-paying customers?
Well, no. Actually, when they rent, they are paying customers. We get quite a bit off of our rentals here.
I mean, I've rented a couple times too, but it's for this space in particular. I just want to see more fun, interactive businesses for
us too, absolutely. Okay.
I'm going to withdraw that motion, going with all the discussion and Julie finding out about the safety issue. We'll just table it till next time, I guess, get more information.
Okay.
If we're going to table it till next time, I'd like you to have another discussion with the vendor.
Sure.
And just, I mean, I should have made some notes, but I just have mental notes that I made, but I'd like to know specifically what he's willing to do with that, because from a sales pitch point of view, I'll come in and reseal it, but when you go look at it, it needs a little more hands-on than just sanding and resealing, so I just want to make sure he's going to follow through on his promises to make that one right if we decided to add the new one additionally. And I want to make sure the other one's squared away too. And I would like to know if we decided to place that one there as a more temporary measure while we do something bigger. Is there any chance that he can even find us a buyer? You say he's done it 30 years. Could he find us a buyer who would buy it, put it in his backyard if we say, okay, help us move it, pick it up? I don't think we're trending in the direction of moving that to Beckham House and building another one. I think we'll probably want to diversify our spaces in the future and not be, large-scale playground here, small-scale playground there. Maybe. I don't think it's going that way. So it would be, I'll just be honest, I might be swayed more towards it if I knew that we could recoup from it if we decided to bail on it. I would certainly wouldn't want to spend the money and have it end up looking like the one we have out there and just sit and rot away. So, yeah, if he could get us some more, if you can get those answers, or if he could come in and chat with us, either way, that would satisfy my curiosity.
Sure thing. All right. Next item on the agenda was our LMIG, the street striping update. Following the conversation last month, I went and talked to, I didn't go, I reached out to Arbor Valley to clean and scrape the edges. It's going to be $3,000 to do that. And that was a little more than I thought it was going to be. So with that kind of price, we probably need to go out to bids for the scraping. I didn't think it was going to be that much, but they are using a tractor and several guys, so, but we're going to go back.
Torrin just had all of their back roads where the new subdivisions are. They've had all of them scraped, restriped. We might check in with them.
That's the county. The county's doing those roads for them out of their LMIG money. And we did reach out to the county when we first talked about it. I hadn't followed up with them because we kind of shifted to Arbor Valley and we're just kind of waiting. But we can certainly go back. Speaking of the county, I did put in a public works request for all that brush that's on Sunset. Williams Circle and on Sunset. So I can include that in the conversation with them next time to see if they can.
With Arbor Valley?
No, with the county.
The county.
The county, yeah. So, but other than that, there's not really any update. I'm still waiting to hear back on these bids to see if they're still viable. I'll just give more of an update on that when we get more information.
The guy that we got a bid from on the pine straw,
Mm-hmm.
he might be able to help us.
Okay.
Because he's hungry and he's relatively cheap.
Okay.
I mean, can we not take action on the striping and get on the schedule and get the edging and the scraping? I imagine someone could just come out and do that, and I feel like the striping's going to be months.
Yes, we certainly.
Is there a reason to postpone it to another agenda?
Only because I don't have confirmation on these prices on the back.
Gotcha.
Now, if y'all wanted to do a not to exceed amount that is, somewhere in this area, we could certainly do that. Mm-hmm. Or what we could do is once we find out the prices, Floyd can reach out to you guys, get a verbal agreement, make sure everybody's okay with it, and then we can schedule them or whatever, and then bring it up at the next meeting.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's just play it that way if that's agreeable with everyone else.
All right, so Tom, I'm going to turn it over to you for the library.
April, I'm going to turn it over to you for the library.
The floors got done this past Wednesday. They look great. I'll show you all the pictures afterwards. It went very well. We moved the books around and rolling trash cans from one shelf to another. The bathroom, the toilet's already back reinstalled. Our friend to come by and stick that back in.
I didn't think y'all were going to do the bathroom because it wasn't ADA.
No, they had to remove the toilet from the flooring in the regular bathroom.
Oh, okay, I got you. I'm sorry, that makes
The
sense,
flooring
yeah.
guys went to put the toilet back because
Mhm.
of liability, so I had to get a plumber friend to run over and put the toilet back inside.
Thank you.
But, I don't know why they would do that, but the floors look great. Went off without a hitch. We're still in the process of getting, so I guess I need to get with Floyd on the next step of getting the catalog system ordered since it's under the threshold, and then get with Dina about starting to figure out how to, the books are already in subgroups, subsections, but we need to figure out how to organize them in the actual groups. Tom and I are getting quotes for, actually we've only gotten one of 3 because the lights to go around the outside on each side, the road lights. We've reached out to a couple people about bidding because really we just need someone to install the poles, and then Tom is going to do hook the lighting from pole to pole basically because it can save us some money. But really nobody wants to come in and just do poles. Lewis gave a bid. It was I think it was $2,500, and that includes the poles and the
Poles and caps.
It included,
brackets.
yeah, the poles, the caps, and him doing it. And then Tom could come behind and do the lights. That would save us some money. And the other guys that I reached out to, 2 came and looked, and they're like, "Thanks for thinking of me, but this really is kind of below my." Nobody wants to come out and do something small like that. So we are having issues with that. Getting somebody to give quotes on something of that nature. What else, Tom? I don't know what else I need to.
In addition to the software for cataloging the books, we're also going to need to get a good barcode reader so we can read it's all based on barcodes.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to think about how we're going to do a
Are you going to get a software package with the barcoding, which is what I
Well, it's-
assume?
Yeah, it's set up
Yeah,
for.
we need to make sure that the current computer or any computers we get in the future can handle that particular software. I know that the laptop I'm using now is rather old, and I'm concerned that it might not be configured in such a manner that we can even download that type of a program on it. I'd have to see
It was
what
only.
what
it was
program we're
basic.
talking about.
It was, it can definitely hold it. It was Windows XP, Windows 10, Windows, like, it was basically any Windows program could run this, could run this software. I think it's actually a Microsoft, like, software that the catalog system is in. But there is a computer up at the library. I mean, it looks dated, but I mean, really.
I think
Windows
it's
XP
Julie's
is not
old
that
one.
big of a-
Is that your old one that Dina has? No?
No, mine's in the drawer.
So
There's
what-
actually two in the drawer. There's a
That
Chromebook.
computer in the library hasn't been used since, I don't think even Brandy used it.
Okay,
This is
The
a desktop.
The
Yeah,
desktop that's there won't even boot up. I
okay.
mean, it's toast.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Is there another computer up there other than the desktop?
Excuse me?
Is there another
Laptop.
computer other than the desktop?
Just the laptop that I'm using.
Okay. But
And it's also rather old.
Is that one of the Chromes?
So, no, we have no updated
We just need to get new
computers,
computers.
software,
We
et
just need to go
cetera.
and just
We have no
update
printer.
Right.
We need to talk to VC3 and see what her computer has on it.
Mm-hmm.
How much,
Just like an all-in-one, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going
It's
to.
nothing crazy that you're gonna need all
We
this
know,
RAM.
we know that the technology up there isn't up to par, and it certainly wouldn't hurt
Yeah.
getting,
And I know you're talking about the barcodes. You need a barcode printer. I don't know if that's part of the software or if we're going to have a separate printer to print the barcodes. Different software packages handle it different ways.
Right.
Some of them come with a barcode printer.
Avery.
That actually prints the barcode.
This one is a basic, you can print from a basic printer, Avery labels, it's all very, it's like the most we can piecemeal. It's not I don't like getting locked in any kind of proprietary situation with labels and all that.
Right.
So they had like 10 different kind of labels that you could use to print your barcodes. So you could choose Avery labels, there was a couple of different like basic ones that you can buy at Staples and Walgreens, or not Walgreens, but Walmart, wherever.
All right, so it comes with pre-printed barcodes?
No, you scan the ISBN and it creates a barcode. It prints out, you put it on the book.
Correct. In which case you have to have a printer that prints out that barcode. We don't have a printer. That's the point I was trying to get to.
So we need an all-in-one computer and a printer.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're kind of short there. And also, I did a quote-unquote wish list that I turned into Floyd when I started thinking about this being a children's library. Some things that I felt as a mother, as a grandmother, as a great-grandmother, that I felt like should be there, such as hot water. We have no hot water in the restroom. If I had a young child and they wanted to wash their hands, I'd like to know that there's hot water in the restroom.
It's not really so hot that it would disinfect your hands.
Excuse me?
Hot water from the sink wouldn't be so hot it would disinfect your hands.
I'm sorry, still can't hear you.
Hot water from the sink wouldn't disinfect your hands if you were washing it. You know,
Well, no.
The soap is the.
No, it never
And then you
becomes
use cold
hot.
water.
Right, so, and that's one thing. If I also had a child, I want to know there's some place that they can get cold water to drink. We have no water fountain or nothing like that. Now, we can get a water dispenser, so we don't need a water fountain. And there were several other things that I was thinking of that, as a parent, I felt like we might need in that facility before we opened it up to children.
Okay.
And it was a wish list. It's
Yeah,
not a must-have.
The obvious thing, you need a good fire extinguisher, and you need a first aid kit.
That's
I'm
another
sorry, I
thing,
can't hear you.
yes.
I wear hearing aids in both ears.
That's okay, I'm humbled. First aid kit, fire extinguisher,
Yeah, well, I know that we have fire extinguisher. If we have a first aid kit, I don't know where it
I've
is.
never seen one.
Yeah, I've never seen one either.
Yeah, it's in the cabinet.
It's in a cabinet.
Right,
Yeah,
we
I think
have
it's
a-
in the
we have a
bottom cabinet.
back there.
Yeah, it
that
should be
has
up under the
chemicals
bottom.
in it. So actually, we need some sort of, I would say, a utility closet. In other words, there is a corner back there that could be closed off so that you could have chemicals and brooms and mops and
Everybody is
things
laying.
like that
Yeah. Yeah.
safely out of the reach of children. You don't
That's-
want a child to go into the restroom, and the next thing you know, he's opened up a cabinet and has been into what? You don't know.
But we have two options
Yeah.
for a closet, utility closet. One is in the bathroom on the left as you go in, and the other is on the bookcase where the National Geographics used to be, behind the desk.
Yeah.
So we're looking at doing either one or the other.
Well, like I said, it was a wish list, I turned it in. It was just, as a parent,
Yeah.
what do I think we need?
Is there anything else on the list that you can think of?
I gave it to Floyd, so
Okay.
Floyd has it. And like I said, it was just thinking about this, here's my ideas.
We're also trying to find a desk, a small desk in there and a chair. And in the age of technology, I was thinking along the lines of a writing table.
Yeah,
With a
you're
drawer.
fading away again. I'm sorry, Tom.
That's all right. I was thinking along the lines of a writing table with a one drawer in it, because in the age of technology, you don't need big drawers full of stuff.
Yeah,
So we're looking for one of those. We can find one at the secondhand market. Nice one.
yeah, like I said, I just went through it, did a wish list, and I'm sure some of the things you're mentioning are on that list, but I didn't put a first aid kit on there. I know that for a fact, and you just brought that one up.
I've also got someone that's going to donate some rugs to put in there, and we're getting some quotes from a fellow that makes benches for children, small benches that we can use to have it sit around, and whenever we have a presentation, we can set them up like in the theater setting. So that's in the process as well.
Also, they're at the front door, and we had Austin, when he was working, clean out the drain.
Mm-hmm.
When it rains now, the water comes all the way up to the door. So that drain still is not draining.
Yes.
And I know that he was trying to unclog it, and I don't know if there were roots
Probably.
or dirt or whatever,
Probably.
but that whole situation at the front door needs to be worked on, because it's just a matter of time, I would think, with a heavy enough rain before the water is coming into the building.
There are a lot of little things like that, like your list, that we need to get a big list on, and we'll just address them. Just fill the list up. I mean, I can think of some other things that we've never even talked about. Do we want to deify the cat tombstone? You don't?
No, that was from Tommy. That's one of Tommy's.
Oh, I thought it was
Things.
that cat that ran around.
No, that came from Tommy's. It came from one of Tommy's
Okay.
things.
Well, forget about that. See, I've already taken one thing off the list.
I got a comment, as a resident taxpayer, I think there needs to be a cap put on some of this stuff. I talked to Floyd earlier in the week, and our budget's increased $50,000 in 2 years. And he also told me quickly that it hadn't all been spent. But the way I'm hearing these numbers now, it's liable to do another 25 this coming year.
Actually, we have gone from 198 in 2017 to 291 or 298 this year. But we've done it without taking any debt and without raising our millage rate.
I'm
So,
talking that the plans that you're talking about now, probably a lot of them are not already on the budget, or are they? I heard the last meeting, I heard part of it could be
yes.
covered.
By and large, they have been. Up to the playground has been program back of the napkin added to the fund balances on the front. But no, we're keeping the money in line between our large projects like the playground, what's upcoming like the Beckhams, that playground, and, the improvements here. We just built them into the budget. I mean, you just plan and budget for them.
Yeah, but the budget can keep going up, that's what I'm worried about, Lord. I mean. the
Well,
budget-
no, it's not, no, see, this is the thing. No, you're fine. No, I'm glad you brought it up, because I want to make the point that as a government, we're not necessarily here to make money. We certainly don't want to
You
lose it.
seem to be able to spend it.
Well, we want to be able to spend it efficiently on the things that people want, like a new community center, or a refreshed community center, like parking, like a playground, like professional staff that manages the budget. The thing about Sharpsburg that I'm so proud about is how efficient we have been over the last 5 years. And, I mean, we just keep growing. And I would like to think that we're doing it the right way.
Still got the same number of people. Roughly, our population.
No, population hadn't, but the services that we're providing have. The things that we're doing has.
This is the point, we're talking past each other. That's-
Okay.
I think a lot of things that we should have been doing a long time ago, we're doing now right. And you've got staff that's able to answer people's questions, whereas before you couldn't get a straight answer. I mean, I bought a business license, or a license rather, to build a deck on the back of my house. When the guy came out to inspect it, he laughed at me because he said that you don't need a permit to build a deck on the ground.
Yeah, I remember
So-
you told me that.
I mean, we were doing things wrong.
Each.
Now that I'm working inside the town hall and been working with Julie and Floyd, I can tell you, we get a lot of calls, people who are wanting to know about building permits that think that they live in the town of Sharpsburg and they don't. And so we provide information, for example, going to public, explain to them whether or not they're in the community center, and then we provide phone numbers or contacts for the county for them. So we field a lot of calls just on that alone, and you'd be surprised,
I retract my question, that's enough discussion.
No, so no, all I wanted to do was just kind of explain what some of the things that we, in addition to what we have to do, we also do outside our town hall when people call us and we try to help them as much as we can.
Yeah. Thank you, Angie. All right, any other questions or updates on the library?
One thing, the Friends of the Library is hosting a stargazing party behind the Baptist Church in November 17th, and if it's cloudy, it'll go to the 18th. And it'll be from dusk at around 6:30 to around 9:30. And the people from the Stargazing Club down in Griffin, they came up and they were astonished at how great the place is for that purpose. So they're excited about it. I'm excited about it. We're going to get the word out and start advertising it here in the next few weeks.
Okay, excellent. Good deal.
Is that a fundraiser, Tom?
Nope.
All right, are there any other questions from council or the public on the old or the new business? Okay, we will go ahead and go into the public comment section of the agenda, and I'll just start over here with Celine.
The only thing is I'm going to big patch in my road that you patched not too long ago. It's starting to come apart again.
Is it? Okay.
So, and I know that you had mentioned to me about roads and all that kind of stuff. You've been down there. It's kind of covered with leaves, so you can't really see it, but you can see it's already coming apart.
Okay. I'll either go out there and look at it or just call the county and have them come out and just repatch it.
I didn't know if they warranted their work or not.
Yes and no. There's some, but based on the area and how mushy it is and all the water that goes, I think it's always going to be subsiding and sinking and all that. We'll just keep patching it. And to all the tree roots. I suspect it's probably another tree root that's come in where the other one was. Because you remember it had that root that was like that tall.
Yeah.
Of course, that was your speed bump.
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah, I'll find out and ask about it.
When you're looking at that, look at that intersection right there next to Tommy's where Williams comes into 54.
Mhm.
That's a deep hole.
Okay, yeah, that's
I don't know
gonna
if that's a landlord thing or a county thing or what.
it's gonna depend on where it is.
Talking about the furniture shop?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a real.
Is it
that's
in
a
the right of
problem.
way?
No, I think it's on the private property, unfortunately.
you think it is?
It's right in between. Yeah. But that's a big problem for that particular business, unfortunately.
Ah, okay.
That's just a terrible point of entry.
Mhm.
So,
Yes, it is.
but I don't know that the county's gonna do anything for us on that. And can we just, would everybody mind, actually, I think it's part of our procedures, but would you mind just introducing yourself? Because some people I don't recognize.
Celine Davenport, 112 Sunset Drive.
Okay, thank you.
Dina, any comments? Okay. Ms. Polly?
154 Main Street, Sharpsburg. Thank you for going about the proper procedure.
Now I can put a name
And
with a face.
I've got a perfect question
Well.
for you next.
Next time.
Next time.
Ooh, I
didn't mean
can't
to set
wait.
that up.
Ma'am?
I don't have anything. Missy Cole, 96 Cole Street.
We're 50 Barrington Farms Way, Sharpsburg. Simmons.
Any comments?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Denise Bogenberg, Fayette Hobbies. I don't have anything.
Y'all don't have any updates?
Well, actually,
Yes.
oh,
No.
Tom, if you want some excitement for that night gazing, maybe we can fly a few high-flying drones over, catch a few, cruising stars there. Just
Do what you need to do, if you can arrange this, have Beetlejuice blow up. That will be spectacular.
we can try. We can work on something.
Work on that.
All right. Sir?
Justin Halford, 60 Beaver Creek Run.
All right. Shep?
Chef Harris, Sharpsburg Pizza and Pub, just observing, no comments.
April?
We actually, I didn't know if I asked this last time, do we have to get a motion to get permission to close Main Street on December the 23rd for the Christmas market? Because we're fixing to start moving towards planning that. And so I wanted to make sure that I did have, do we have permission to close down Main Street for the purpose of the Christmas market?
Oh, yeah, sure. The process, I think, is 45 days before, do the special event permit, and then come to council maybe 60 days before, anyway, something like that, but yeah, we'll be fine. We'll,
What's on the horizon for us?
yeah, just make sure that Floyd has the date so he can put it down and start
They do.
the four-wheel
They actually
process.
gave me the date.
There you go, excellent.
It's going to be
Oh.
Saturday, December the
No,
23rd,
not
which is
excellent.
Christmas Eve. We're going to have a Christmas market on Main. We're working this week to get a committee together we've got a lot of stuff that we're planning for the kids and already got some vendors going and it should be exciting.
Excellent.
Is that enough time, Brad? Okay.
Okay. All right.
The next meeting.
I will hold the administrator's report for another few minutes and see if Floyd gets, actually, I'm sorry, go to polling of council. Tom, I'll start right here with you.
Nothing.
All right. Alex?
I don't have anything.
Stan? Okay. I will hold Floyd's administrator's report. For the mayor's updates, I don't have anything either. Let me step in real quick and see if Floyd wants to come and give his administrator's report.
How much space is required for pickleball?
I
Pickleball.
have 12 courts.
Huh?
It's basically half of a tennis court.
It's
Just
half
one
a tennis
pickleball court, yeah, essentially.
Normally, they're 45 by 60.
There, here's a pickleball guy right here. Somebody plays pickleball.
We built 15 of them.
He's one of those 60-year-old children.
Yeah.
I would love to see a tennis
That's
court
kind of
slash pickleball
average.
court out here. Though.
Yeah. Some are smaller, some are bigger. But that's
Yes, sir.
the maximum.
And how big it, 45 by 60, you said?
I think that's right.
That's big.
And the average price is about $45,000 a piece.
You say William City, Newland? Where are they located?
Across from public
Yeah,
safety.
because you know, a lot of these
Across
tennis
from where?
courts that
Public
are
safety.
not as popular anymore, they're,
On Hannah
they're
Street?
just changing out the
No,
net,
yeah.
restructuring,
Behind
turning
there.
it into 2 pickleball courts.
It's not Hannah Street.
That's where it came from.
Hannah Street.
From the tennis dimensions, and they were
Turn,
like, a smaller game.
turn, side where Jeepers used to be, that road right there. Augusta, that's why, Augusta wasn't Hannah.
Well, Hannah was the street that went through. Because it was Hannah Home.
Yeah, they're all, everyone's at
Long
it.
way.
It's really taking off the last 4 or 5 years.
Complex.
Probably. I think it would be an addition, we have the space like Beckham and,
Bill what?
and Arbor Valley, you know.
I know, I go to White Oak, and they got several out there, and they people playing it all the time.
Some type of sports facility, but that's definitely, it's very popular.
Floyd does not have an administrator's report tonight, so we will go ahead, and if there's nothing else coming before council, take a motion to adjourn.
Wait, what about the, that item that we skipped over? It's
Oh,
gonna take a bit?
they've resolved it. It has been resolved and has come off the agenda.
Okay.
So they've already worked through it. Motion to adjourn?
Motion. Second.
All in favor? Unanimous? Thank you.